Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
If the new Chicken Big Mac at McDonald's looks like a Big Mac, has 3 buns and sauce like a Big Mac, but has 2 chicken patties, then it's not a Big Mac.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
Hey guys, don't forget that we have a brand new bonus ep on Stitcher this Wednesday. And then this Friday, we have our Cut for Time clips on Patreon. You're not going to want to miss either. More Melissa, more Megan, more is more. Indulge. It's a good time. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Don't Blame Me. I hope you're watching this because Kingsley's here and this bod.
Oh my God, stop it.
I'm sorry. I also probably should have asked you if it was okay. I immediately, the first second I saw you, I was like, your biceps. You're so ripped.
I feel so objectified.
I'm so sorry.
Gosh.
No, but you just look great.
Thank you.
Not to make you
Appreciate it.
uncomfortable.
Thank you so much.
I'm
You
just
look great
okay.
too.
Oh, thank you.
You look fresh,
I
relaxed.
washed my hair. I took some CBD. I have some really bad cramps. So I am actually pretty fucking relaxed
You're
right
on the
now.
CBD train?
It is the only thing that helps me with like migraines and cramps.
Okay.
Like with painkillers. But it like
Maybe
makes
it's the painkillers.
No, I'm not. It's Advil. Like it's not real painkillers.
Like Percocet.
It's no, the CBD is like actually what helps so much. And it like can make me fall asleep and be relaxed. Like I just never knew what it was like to like not be like a high strung person. Like I feel like someone might describe me as chill.
Oh, on CBD?
Melissa's like, no, you're still not chill.
Oh my God.
But like this is chill me. And I'm not like writhing in pain. Well, if you guys are new here, this is an advice podcast. And if you want to call in, the phone number is 310-694-0976. And international listeners, you can send us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. And this is your second time on, right?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
It was
We
so
had
much
such a good
fun
time last time.
Yeah, it was scandalous.
Yeah. I loved your advice. So I'm like really fucking excited.
Did you guys ever hear back from that person that like slept with their straight best friend and the girl found
Oh,
out?
no.
I don't know if we did.
No, we did.
If you're still out there.
I think about that every day.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Fuck, I need to go back and listen. We have to find her.
Yeah, we do.
Well, should we hop in?
Let's do it.
Hello, Megan, Melissa, and guest. So I am 22 years old, and I have some sort of weird little thing. I don't know if you call it that, but so me and my sister went clubbing for Pride with a couple of our friends that we like grew up with in high school. We're like really close and all that, and we have this like one friend. Well, mostly my sister is like really, really close with him. And he and I like kind of hit it off, and we like danced our asses off, got really drunk, never having a wet pussy ever again. I don't even know what's in it, but it tastes like diabetes. Anyways, well, we like accidentally kissed, and by accidentally it's because he like tried to like playfully kiss me in the cheek, and I turned my head, and then we were like, ah! Anyway, I don't know, like then we ended up like I don't know, like. It's just weird. And, like, I know that they're really, 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 really close friends with each other. And he and I, like, really got close in high school. And now we're, like, I guess closer now. So, I don't know. I just, like, don't want to make it weird because, like, they're really best friends. And, you know, like, it's weird when, like, siblings and friends, like, date each other and all that stuff. Well, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm, like, rambling. I'm not making any sense. I forgot my medication. Anyways, just... please help me. I don't know. Like, I just don't want to make it weird. Like, do I just ignore it and, like, casually go on Tinder like I am now? Or just make things awkward? I don't know. Help.
Girl.
Do you like him? I feel like he has to like him.
He clearly.
Yeah.
I got so confused in that story. At first I thought there was like a girlfriend
Oh,
that
God.
he like tried.
There's
it out.
some incest there.
Oh
No,
my
thank God, no. I mean, I think you like him. I think that's why you're worried about it being like weird. I wonder also like if you were as like subtle at Pride as you think that you were, because I'm sure your sister saw.
Right?
You know what I mean?
It sounds like she had to have seen.
Yeah.
And why would your sister panic? Are they not? If you're close with your sister, this is like a non-issue. I think it would get way worse than it needs to be. I feel like your sister would be like happy that you found a guy that at least she knows and trusts and isn't gonna like fuck you over.
Yeah.
But I guess he's more worried about if things don't work out.
Yeah.
Then that becomes awkward. But you can't worry about that.
Yeah, and I get that, but I think the only way that you can worry about the awkwardness of it, and like, first of all, there's no way to avoid awkward. Like, awkward is just like an inevitable thing that's going to happen in your life. Like, in any situation, shit will get awkward. But I think if you're worried about feelings, which it sounds like you are, like your sisters, talk to her. Because also, I think there's definitely, like, I had friends who like had siblings, and like there were some times that it was like, oh, this would be fine if you dated this person. But like, if it's your absolute best friend, your only best friend, and then they start dating your sibling and you can't really like talk about it, that can be very different. But I think at the same time, like, they're close, but you guys also knew each other in high school. I don't think she necessarily has, like, she might have like the more of a friendship, but it's not, you don't know this guy because of her. Like, so I think that you kind of have, you don't need to worry about that as much, but I would just talk to her. And I think if she's like cool with it and chill with it, and if you express, you know, maybe take your medication before. I always do that before like a big long talk where I have to like actually get my words out.
Yeah. Before the podcast.
And you can tell there's certain points in podcasts where like it starts to wear off and then we go on a break and let's like take your meds. You're not finishing sentences. But if you express to her that you like actually like really like him and you want to see where this goes, I would see like gauge how she feels about it and just be honest with how you feel. And then also I'd say I don't want to be like, oh my God, you're so young. But like, I mean, it's a compliment. You are young. But also I wouldn't stress too much about if it doesn't work out. Because also you don't know where her friendship with him is going to be. And if you go into it knowing the consequences of being like, oh, we might like, this might be awkward. So I'm going to really make sure if things start to go south or whatever, that we end it amicably. And you're being aware of the consequences. And I think that's how you avoid shitty ones, you know? Like,
I think you have an open window right now. Just be like, yo, we were at Pride and like we made out and we're dancing and like, I think I like him. Like, let's go with it.
Yeah.
It's like the best time to do it.
100%. Talk to your sister and then also maybe find out I would talk to your sister and then find out if he likes you too. Yeah. And then, you know, make out, kiss. I also love the idea that he's like kiss on the cheek and then they're like, ah! Like, that's so, I can just fully picture that
G-rated.
too. Yeah, I love it.
Where did that go in the middle though? Like,
I know.
What was the
like,
pussy diabetes thing? Like,
Okay, so it was a drink. It's
called
a
the
drink.
wet pussy.
Yeah, wet pussy.
Oh.
It has...
Why would you serve that?
I missed
It has
that.
vodka, gin, coconut rum, peach schnapps, and then pineapple juice.
I know. I
and
just to say, I take that back. I take that back. In my mind, you were at Boys and Boys, but your sister was there.
Yeah.
No, so wet pussy. People enjoy. I mean, yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, it's fun to order.
Yeah, I guess it's not why it's that at Pride. It's more like why. I don't know. I don't know. I also like as a girl who's like sucked dick. I wouldn't order a drink that's like, you know, like sweaty dick, like sweaty balls, like
Sweaty balls.
It's gonna taste like
Sweaty balls.
Sweaty balls. Do you think that sweaty balls taste like Kraft macaroni, the cheesy part?
The actual sweaty balls?
Yeah.
No, they
It
don't.
depends
I
on
think they do.
who it is
No, but
and
like
what they've had to eat and
I love
what they're
sweaty balls.
secreting.
You love sweaty balls?
I love
like
sweaty
after
balls.
like
Yes.
a basketball game.
But I'm talking
Yeah.
about dry sweat. Like this, like sweat has come and gone. Like it is dried.
Like crusty?
I
No.
mean,
Is
wow.
that
No.
I'm gonna say, is it crusty? There's not sweat.
No,
is
that's
it?
that's some other shit that you just came and you just gave yourself like a dick mask
Oh
with
my
your
God.
cum. Like that's so gross. No, but I do think sweaty balls also maybe more smell, kind of like the dry cheese from Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Musk. Wait, what is Kraft macaroni and cheese coming from?
That's the smell.
That's what you think?
That's
or
what
is that from
that's
your
the
experience?
smell.
You got
Is it
that?
every guy or is there a certain guy?
No, I've always thought this, but also at the same time, I haven't smelled Kraft macaroni and cheese in forever. This was like a thing that I said in high school, along with tequila tastes like barbecue sauce and caramel mixed together. Dark tequila. Well, yeah, I think you're in a good position. I think just tell everyone how you feel, and yeah, also assess how you feel, and like maybe give it a couple days for you if you're unsure exactly. Like, but if you've been on Tinder and you're like swiping and you're like, oh, I'm not really into these guys, I think that's a good way to tell like, oh, I really do like this guy. Yeah, give it a shot. Go for it.
Yeah.
Not a wet pussy shot though.
No. Give it
Enough
do
of
a
those.
dry pussy shot.
Yeah. Ew.
I do wonder what that tastes like. Not real wet pussy.
Okay.
No, the shot. I can just if I ever wanted to, but I'm just curious.
We'll Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had one, you said?
Yeah, they're tasty.
Oh.
Because it's just like juice.
Yeah.
It's all juice. And then gin and
juicy.
The emphasis on juice.
It's juice.
It's juicy.
Juicy.
Okay. Juicy pussy.
Juicy pussy. On to the next.
Hi, Megan, Melissa, and potential guests. I'm going to try and keep this simple and sweet. My boyfriend and I have been together about 4 years, and I live in a really shady area of town, and am doing so because I just don't have enough money for rent. So he suggested that we should start to share the bedroom that he rents, and that we could split the rent, and it would be about the same price for me, a little less. And be in a safer area. And I think it would be a lot better for my mental health because I definitely have issues with anxiety, especially living in that area because it's just so crime ridden. But the problem is that, so he is renting the same house that his parents rented when he was growing up in. And then he took over the lease when they left and got some of his cousins and his sister to move in. And so they all each have different bedrooms and then they split the rent together. And the problem with that is his bedroom has not changed because of that, and he does not want to change it because he's such a nostalgic person. And so his solution to the whole idea is that I should, with my extra money, get a storage unit and put my stuff in it. And it's to the extent that, I'm not able to store enough towels to be able to bathe throughout the week. And his solution is basically, just go and, reuse your towels, which I don't fucking do. And I don't understand. And there's not enough space in his bedroom, partly because he's kept old toys. There's not enough space in the bathroom because he's let his sister share, the bathroom space, even though she has her own bathroom and he has his own bathroom all to himself. And I've sat down with him and basically explained to him, look, you're not ready for this if you don't want to make these changes. And then he gets super upset and is like, no, I am ready. And then doesn't do anything at all. And I'm really tired of it. And I'm really tired of trying to explain to him, look, this doesn't work and you need to stop pretending it's going to work because you don't want to change anything. So I'm just wondering if you have any advice. He's 25, by the way, and out of school.
Ooh, you had me going until toys.
Can't be going until towels.
True.
I was expecting there not to be space.
Yeah.
For I don't know, her clothes or
a foosball table.
Yeah, her laptop if she's in school. A towel?
Yeah.
Some towels?
Gross.
You can't find anywhere in the house for some towels?
It's under the bed. You can't get one of those storage things.
Do you think he has? It's already all full though? I mean, to me, it sounds like there's a difference between nostalgia and hoarding.
Yes.
And
true.
Mott's is super fucking nostalgic, which I'm the least nostalgic person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Someone gives me a card and I feel obligated to keep it, but I'm I don't we get wedding invitations. I'm put it on my calendar. I'll toss it. I'm not I don't know. I'm not sentimental. It's my Aquarius rising. And but there's a difference between keeping letters and things that are really important to you and maybe one toy that you had as a kid and photos, but keeping everything is, to me, that's a different level. It's not wanting to move on,
especially if it's toys.
Yeah,
he's 25 years old
with that.
I mean, I have a box full of cards that I've gotten since I was 8.
Yeah.
And I have certain things all my Harry Potter books and just stuff in my room at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm I get it. But at the same time, I wish I knew where the relationship was going. Because it's if it's still his parents' house, maybe they also like to keep it the same.
But
because
they rented it.
They rented it.
They rented it. And so
there.
he picked up the lease after them. But he grew up in that house. So it's always been a lease. I know.
They're not maybe he puts his toys in storage with some of her stuff?
Or
there has to be a compromise.
those core things that you both need, and then any of that supplemental stuff, if he's not looking at it every day and using it every single day, or even like once a week, that should be the stuff that goes into storage. So it should be both of your storage units. Like you should just share one. He can put the toys in. If you have extra furniture that you want to keep eventually, if you guys got your own place or you got your own place later down the road that you really like, you can keep that stuff there. But also, do you have to move in with him? Like, I get that this
sounds like she's like miserable at her place.
And I think you should move, but is he the only person that you can live with?
Right.
But I would also say, like, I think moving in with a significant other, it shouldn't be done. I think if you don't have to do it out of like need and necessity, I think it can be better. But already you're starting off before you move in with all of these obstacles.
Drama.
And moving in together is hard.
It is. It really is.
It's really hard to live with somebody. And yeah, there's some stuff that like you'll also just kind of, I don't know, like when you move in with significant other, you have to deal with.
Especially when there's family there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want to do this.
No.
Like
It's too many people in this house.
Too many. And the sister's using the bathroom and you can't put your towels anywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's just a lot. And I feel like maybe she said it's a little less than what she's paying now.
Yeah. But she's not like she didn't specify that she's trying to save money. She just wants to get out of that neighborhood she was in.
Yeah. Maybe there's a way for you. And even if it's like finding a very safe random on like through like college or through like anyone that you like a friend of a friend and find that. Like, I mean, one of my friends, she's thinking about moving to San Francisco and she met this really great, nice guy on Craigslist who works at Restoration Hardware, which I was like, oh, he's vetted. He works at Restoration Hardware. They do so much vetting there. Like, I'm sure they did a background check. Like, he seems wonderful.
And great furniture.
Exactly. And I was like, it's going to be totally your style. He's going to be very type A, probably also a Virgo like her. So I think like there's a better way to do it. And also like, because the same thing with like the cousins and the sister, he's off, and like I think it's nice that he's definitely being accommodating to the fact that they're the women. So I'm going to give them more bathroom space and all that stuff. But if also that they're not being like, oh, his girlfriend's going to move in. Oh, let us move all of our shit and be accommodating for you. You're going to move in and you're not going to feel like you live there. Like you're going to feel like you're crashing there.
Absolute facts.
So yeah,
I feel like this is hard because I had a friend that was living also in like a really shitty area.
Yeah. And
she just like she was telling me like a couple weeks ago, actually, all the stuff she dealt with, like people breaking into her house and this woman trying to fight her in the courtyard. And it's just like, I totally get like wanting to escape. But I feel like if the relationship means something to you and you're already seeing these like red flags about moving, you should definitely find an alternative solution.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to like force your boyfriend to change.
Yeah.
But it's like you also want to maintain your mental health. And the two in this situation seem to conflict.
Yeah.
Like you can't do one without the other.
And like if your goal is, which it should be, to like better your mental health, I don't think that this situation, I think it's going to be a different sort of like anxiety and frustration. And it's not going to feel like you want your place to feel like a safe, homey haven. It's just going to feel like you're squatting in a hoarder's apartment.
And it seems like the relationship is fine.
Yeah.
Except for this. So it's like, I wouldn't even want to put that stress on that if that's like one of the good parts of your life.
Yeah. And he might grow out of it to a point where he wants to move into another place. And I would say that would probably be a lot easier for him to get rid of his shit because he hasn't changed it because he hasn't had to. And so like, if I think back to like my parents' house, my bedroom I haven't been back in a long time, but like, I'm sure it probably looks quite similar to when I lived there. But like, if I still continued to like live there, and I moved in with my boyfriend, I would have a hard time changing it because like that's what you're used to. But if then eventually he decides that like he wants to move out and move in with you and you guys get a new place together, I think all of that stuff will kind of get pared down. And like half a bathroom, that's not fair.
It's
While the sister's getting a bathroom and a half.
Yeah.
That's going to be a mess.
Like, are they going to
glam
glam you every day?
When it's like you're picking between me and your sister. Like, it's just like, no, stop it.
No, I couldn't do that.
It's too much.
No, I need to be the only woman. I'm not good at sharing.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that. And that reminds me of like Think Like a Man when like Michael Ealy was fighting with, wait, was it Michael Ealy? Like the mama's boy? No, Terrence J. his character
so
was
cute.
like, Regina Hall kept having to fight him and his mom. And I see that happening if this girl is in the house with him and his sister.
Yep.
It's just like, oh, I got to use the bathroom. Oh, well, I have a meeting in like 30 minutes. The boyfriend's just sitting there. He's like, are you going to say something? Get this bitch out of the bathroom. Like, it's too much.
That's not fun. That's not fun. Though I do appreciate your boyfriend living with like 2 women. I feel like he must be very sensitive too.
I mean, clearly.
Yeah. All the toys. Also, do you desperately want to know what kind of toys? Like, I want to know so bad. Are we talking Legos, a Bop It? He's 25, so it's the toys
Joes.
that okay. Well, praying for you and your towels and your relationship. Let us know how it goes.
And your mental health.
Yeah,
no, seriously,
100%.
I hope you get out of that area.
Yeah, and also download the app. Noonlight is a great one for if you ever feel unsafe. I found it on Twitter because, like, people retweet those like very scary videos, people following them, and it's basically not sponsored, but it's basically an app in which, like, if you're in an unsafe situation, you hold down the there's like a button on it, and as soon as you let go, that's the alert. It geo-tracks your phone and they alert someone of your location, and then you can enter in a passcode, but you only have like 5 seconds to do it. So if someone else, like if you had an attacker who's like, enter in the passcode, like they can't do it you can't do it super, you have to do it super fast. And then they will send police to your exact geolocation, and it keeps tracking you, even if they like turn off your phone or anything. So it's a great one. And also, like, if like you do it by accident or it ends up being fine, they'll still send somebody like to check. And it's like there's like someone to talk to if you can say like, oh, this was the person who was like following me or being creepy or whatever. So it's a great one. Yeah, I made all my friends who live like close to the Tenderloin in San Francisco download it. I'm like, please do this. Please, guys. Well, best of luck. On to the next.
Hey, Megan. Big fan. Hi, your guest today. Can't say my name. I have a best friend who I have had for years, like since high school. I'm 21 years old, turning 22. And she and I go out in the town together all the time because we're both just a little socially awkward, but together we have just enough confidence to really go out and have fun and dress how we want to and do what we want to. So we just give each other that boost all the time. We are best friends. We talk about everything. We even get high with her mom and laugh about things. And the other night we went out and we met this really sweet guy, and he danced with both of us. He talked to both of us, and it wasn't even her or I who asked for his number. It was actually her mom playing our wing woman, which was actually hilarious, and we died laughing about it. And I don't know, I guess I just thought that we'd both wait to contact him. And then I found out the next day she had asked to go out with him, and he went out with her, and I didn't realize how much it would affect me. Like, I was literally a puddle of tears, and it's not even like anyone had did him. I just thought that it would move slower and that I might have a chance. Speaking like within the situation, I just came out as bisexual and as demisexual. So dating for me is awkward enough. And I'm also not skinny. And sometimes that can mess with my self-esteem. And to have someone make me a priority, it just hadn't happened in a really, really, really long time. And I hadn't been that happy in forever. And I don't think she realized how much it hurt. And I told her about it, and I told her how I felt, and she was really dismissive. And of course, I don't want to be selfish and take away her happiness. But at the same time, it feels kind of messed up. But anyways, I hope I give you enough information. I don't want to take too long. But yeah, she's a few years older than me. She's moving in a little bit, and I don't know. I thought that she might be able to let me have this one for a change, because I always do feel like her wing woman, and I've confided in her about that before, just because she's more traditionally the standard of beauty. So I guess maybe my own insecurities kind of sabotaged me, I suppose. Any advice, ladies or fellas, who's ever on the podcast today? Thank you, guys.
I want to be her friend.
Right?
You were so fucking sweet.
That voice.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I just like want her to like read me a bedtime story and give me compliments.
Wow.
Any thoughts?
Took a turn. I thought they were going to get them together.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I mean, the first thing I'd say is like, obviously you can't go back in time, but and as close as you are with your friend's mom has her daughter's interest at heart. Like when she's getting the number, she's not getting the number for you. She's getting it for her kid. And the part that you said that you felt like no one had prioritized you and all of that. First of all, straight boys are fucking idiots. Like they're just like the fucking worst. Like they're so dumb. Like they really truly are. Like I said, like white straight men are like a whole different breed of humans. And if the purge happens, I think only a few will survive. Truly, I don't. You think they're on everybody. Everyone has at least like, if you know a white straight guy, there's at least like 5 girls like, no, he's my number one on my shit list if the purge happens. Like there's only a few who are gonna go through. I don't even know if Mott's would end up unscathed. Like I might be single. Who knows? But I think like when you said like you think your insecurities were talking, I would say that I think your insecurities were, which is fine. I'm a very insecure person. I think that they prevented you from like seeing the fact that like he wasn't prioritizing you from the beginning. Like he was dancing with you and your friend. He was flirting with both of you guys. Like he was keeping it really open-ended. He wasn't prioritizing you. Like that's why this happened. And that's not the guy for you. Also, I don't think it's the guy for your friend either. I think like any person that's going to be interested in you, like my friends and I, when we used to go out, if one guy came up and just like immediately was talking to us as a group, like flirting, we're like, no, dude.
He's
like,
just casting his line.
Yeah. And seeing who's going to bite. And it should be a guy like who comes up to like one of you or talks to you and then is clearly really focused on one of you and not like, oh, I'll take whoever's interested in me. And so I just think like from the beginning, like it's rough because I've definitely been there where I've had like friends who always get the guy and I always like was definitely getting sloppy seconds. And it just at a certain point, like you want somebody, the greatest feeling ever, like you're saying is like when someone chooses you, I think you're just a little misconstrued on like what that is and what that feeling is. And I think if you can like, I hate to say like practice self-love or whatever, but like I go to therapy all the time now. So like now that's the things that I say, but you have to prioritize like yourself to then know what it's like and what it feels like to see when someone else is doing that to you. Because if you don't do that, it's not even like, oh, if you don't love yourself, no one else can love you. Because like, I don't believe that. But if you don't like, you don't even have to like yourself all the time. You can still be insecure, but if you don't like prioritize yourself, whatever that means for you, like putting yourself first, like, oh, I'm like gonna wake up an hour earlier and like read my book that I really want to do. Like I want to do things that are just about me that I really like. Then when you see like meet some guy or girl, whoever you're talking to at the time, like you're going to be able to tell when they do that to you. And it's not just attention, because like attention is very different than like singular attention. Like if he's giving attention to like all of you, it's not your friend's responsibility to be like, oh, here, you can have this guy. That's just a shitty guy. Right?
So much truth. Yeah. Like I was like, oh my God. Jesus. You really laid it out there and told her. I mean, that's what needs to be done. I guess that's what this is.
Because like, would you go if someone came up to you and a group of friends and was like, hey, like, what's up? And it like doesn't like attention on one. Like, don't you think sleazy?
I'm territorial. Yeah. If you're talking to everybody, get away from me. Yeah. I don't even want a drink from you. Like, just stop it. Mm-hmm. You can have him.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
It doesn't even make sense. But I feel bad for her.
Me too.
But what you said is so true. Like you, yeah, from the beginning, like it was never, I think, going the way that she thought it was going in her head. And that's sad. And I do relate to that because I definitely, like you said, have been the ugly duckling and like next to the friend that's just like, oh, that. I know. And like every guy is just like, just passing me by.
Bye. Getting whiplash and another one and another one.
But it sucks. That feeling sucks.
Oh yeah.
So I definitely get what she's going through, especially if her friend's moving. But then again, I feel like because of her complex, like she's even thinking about it way further than it ever might have gone.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she's like, oh, my friend's leaving. She should have let me have this guy, thinking like they're gonna just elope and date and get married and all this stuff. And I think for your age, you can't look at prospective relationships like that. Take it like a day at a time.
Yeah.
Because once you get all these images in your head and how you think things are going to go is when you end up in situations like this where you're kind of disappointed.
I wouldn't say, I like Googled this one time recently because I was like, am I a codependent person? And then I read it and I was like, oh no, I'm definitely not a codependent person. But I I thrive. I'm not good in situations like alone. Like I get terrible social anxiety. And if I have like one friend there, but I don't want like a ton of friends. Like if I've got like one good friend or a couple good friends there, like that's when I feel like the most me and like the most confident and like the most comfortable to like really be myself. So I understand that aspect. And like I have a best friend like that where when we go out together or we do anything together, like that's like the version of myself that I absolutely like love the most. And like you're saying that combined confidence and everything like that. But when I went away, we both went away to college, that was really hard for me because like I didn't know how to like have that sense of confidence and really like myself without her, because like that's the person that I felt, and not even like, oh, it's our necessarily combined confidence, but I think you also really like who you are around her, and you like the kind of the fun that you have, and like the way you talk about your friendship, like it's so sweet, and it's like so it's just like so great. And I think you now need to practice, especially with her moving away, is finding different ways and different people. So it's not your confidence and like your comfortability isn't just riding on one person. Yeah. And I still feel far more confident when I have someone with me, but now I don't need it doesn't need to be just that one specific person. Like I can feel really confident doing certain things with like other friends, but also even like the confidence that I had, like I get really nervous going to new workout classes, but like once I start going and I know the person who works the front desk, like we're not friends, but I'm like, no, I feel more comfortable because like these are faces that I know. So I would try and practice that, because that confidence and everything, like it's, you bring something. It's like she's not completing you, like you're bringing something there too. Like whether you feel like your confidence tank or whatever is like 50% full, like that's still something. Like you don't need her to then feel comfortable enough to like talk to like people that you're into. And then maybe it's not like throwing yourself and going, like I don't advise going to a bar by yourself. But I think like find those different things where you do feel more comfortable. Like maybe you feel more comfortable on apps. Like you feel more comfortable like talking to someone first, and you build that confidence. But I think you need to like build that up and realize that someone else is really gonna like, they're gonna meet you and they're gonna have eyes only for you and really really like you, and you won't feel so attached to her and like she needs to like do you a solid, because like you're fucking great. You're gonna meet someone who's not into your friend, and it's not like, hey, can you do me a solid and like let me have this one? Like it's gonna be someone's like, oh no, I wasn't looking at your friend, like I was totally completely into you the whole time, and you're like, oh what? Like, and that's the feeling when you've been the person who's been overlooked. You're like, shut up, me? You like me? And it's like, oh great. And then, but then you have to get to the tough part of being like, wait, do you like them? You have to like get over that, where I'm like, oh my God, I like you. I'm like, oh, do you like me? Do I like you, or do I just really like that you like me? That's like a figuring out thing.
And please don't let this like ruin your friendship.
No.
Like I know you've talked to her about this before, but like it's just one guy. Honestly, personally, I root for my friends. Like I might have a moment where it's like, damn, that dude went over there. But then it's like the next day, I want the details. Like, let me know how it went.
Yeah.
How it was, what it looked like.
Exactly.
And like, just make it a thing.
Did it smell like Kraft macaroni
Did it
and cheese?
smell like the fried mac and cheese?
Yeah, have it like just, I don't know. Like, I think it's, feelings are valid and it's okay to like have your moment. But like get over it and like move on and become that relationship that you have again. Like talk about it and just like, okay, I lost that one.
And don't romanticize it, because like we're saying from the very beginning, it wasn't what you felt like it was and what you thought it was. And also, I don't think that they're necessarily like, I don't think that's a really strong footing for their relationship to even go off of. But I'd say like the next time you hang out with your friend, if whether this relationship with him works out or not, if a guy approaches you guys and you can't tell which of you he's flirting with, I would just like drop it then, like on your end, and like you be the one to give it to her, even though in reality like you're giving her a guy who's like just like shooting his shot with like the whole
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Group, but like you can take that power back and be like, oh, here, like you take this one.
Yes.
You know, take the power back.
Yeah.
And you seem like so fucking lovely and amazing and sweet.
Literally, like I didn't even want it to end.
I know.
I had a great storytelling voice.
Yeah, you should want to read my book when I do an audiobook. I don't want to do it. You want to do it for me? She's going to sound so much nicer though. It's going to be like, and then I called her a cunt and I pushed her down a flight of stairs.
There were a lot of vocal tone changes in that story. I was like captivated.
Right? It's like someone reading Harry Potter to you. I'm like, all the characters have different voices. I love it.
I would have loved if the guy was actually into the mom.
Oh, or the mom like started texting the guy, and that's it.
Smoked him out.
That's amazing.
I would have died.
That would have been. That's the biggest plot twist. What if that's happening? Like we don't even like the daughter. It's what is that movie?
I mean, the daughter's moving.
Diane Keaton and It's complicated. No, something's gotta give. Something's gotta give. What if we have that situation going on? Mm-hmm. Mom starts fucking the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Wow.
You might. Shit.
I mean, I don't respect that, but like,
I respect it.
Like, it's a power fucking move.
Yeah.
It's a power move. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to take a break and we'll be back. Okay, guys, we're back and let's hop into the rest.
Hi, Megan. You know, I call so many times I should probably just be on your podcast. But basically, I'm 22. Wow. 27. Oh my God. I'm 22 years old, and I'm having issues with one of my best friends. She has kind of just been an asshole. She blew me off on her birthday. I asked her to basically go out to brunch with me, and like I was gonna, plan this whole thing. And then I texted her the night before. She didn't respond. Texted her in the morning. She didn't respond until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And she said, "Oh, sorry, I'm already out with people. Maybe some other time." And that kind of hurt my feelings. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then she comes over to my neighbor's house all the time, but she doesn't even say hi to me. I don't really get to see her that often because we both work opposite schedules. But I'll pull up to my house and see that she's there. And I guess she just parks her car there when they go out. But I don't know. It's just kind of just like, well, I mean, you can't like come see me or make time for me, but you can go to my neighbor's house. Anyways, I really didn't say anything until the final straw. I invited her to come to my college graduation. I really wanted her there. And I sent her a text about 2 months before and asked her if she would go. She said, yes, absolutely, definitely, wouldn't miss it for the world. And then I made a Facebook page, invited literally everybody that I knew. And she didn't respond to the invite. She didn't comment on any of the posts. And I know that she was on Facebook because she was posting other things. And she didn't show up. She didn't say happy graduation. She didn't say anything. So I texted her asking her why she was ignoring me, if I did something, or if she's ghosting me. And she said that she thought that it was impersonal and that I don't really reach out to her either. And I just kind of thought it was bullshit because she's constantly going out drinking at night. She's always posting on her social media that she's out at the bar, that she's wasted, that she is, going to all these different, like, I don't know, events, rodeos, concerts, whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. It does go both ways, but she just kept turning that around on me because I confronted her about it. And I was trying to be really nice, but I kind of just got fed up. So I could really use some advice, and thank you so much. Love you.
The rodeo is fucking great. Okay.
I know, but like she just is listing off all of these things. And it's like, are you just like on thesaurus for like events?
The
like
rodeo.
It was like a rager, it was a party, it was a shindig, a hoedown, a rodeo. Like that's what it felt like. I love that. I was like, no, but literally rodeo.
Oh my God.
Wow. I mean,
cut her off. What's going on?
Do you like her?
Your friend.
But do you? Yeah. Like, do you even like her?
Who would not come to your college graduation if they were invited and they're your friend? Like your friend.
Yeah. It just like no one. Like that's not a thing. Like I went to my best friend's graduation and I like flew there to go. Like what? Like it's just like the idea that it's a impersonal thing. Mm-hmm. I had like a friend, like what's even like we weren't even really great friends. It was definitely like she put more effort into the friendship than I ever did. But she got the final straw for her was the fact that like for my birthday I didn't want to hang out with just her, and that she was like, well, what do you mean like you're having all these people? Like that's just like I'm your best friend. And I'm like, well, you're not actually my best friend. Like but like it was one of those things that it was like I'm inviting you, but it was like no, that's like this is the kind of friendship that I need from you. And if you can't give me that, then like you're not worth my time. Which at a certain point I'm like, then fine. Like if that I can't give you that, then go find that with somebody else. And I think like I don't even think your friend's necessarily like being possessive because it's like she's saying like, oh, that was a really impersonal thing. And like
it's not even that. You at least wanted to have your friend in addition to other people. She's out with other people and didn't even invite the girl.
She's literally next door.
Yeah.
Not hitting her up. Like this sounds almost delusional.
Yeah. And if she's posting about her being out all the time, like I get that it's a two-way street that like two people do kind of need to reach out to make a relationship work. But if she's posting about being out all the time and like you're not, like you're seeing someone who's like, oh, she looks busy. Like she hasn't invited me out to go do this stuff. Like she's making these plans. I think also like I don't want to put like words and thoughts in your mouth or your head, but I don't think you like her. I just don't think that you wanted to be the one to get ditched. I think like as I'm kind of the person, I'm like if I find out someone hates me, I'm like pissed that I didn't hate them first. That I'm pissed I wasted all this time being fucking nice to you. Like now I didn't even fucking like you, but like now I want to win. And I think like you have to assess like I don't think you want to be friends with this girl. I just think that she's being so shitty that you don't want to then be the villain because you're not. But like she's just going to paint you like that no matter what. Like I don't think she's going to see the error in her ways. And do you really want to hang out with somebody who hasn't invited you to go do stuff for months and ditched your like all of that stuff? Like you're just not a priority to her and it's not worth your time. Like a friend who wants like plain brunch and a whole day for your birthday, like oh my God, spend that time on some other friends who would like really appreciate that. Like
or at least say no, I don't want to do that. It sounds like she's not even answering her.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it.
That's just, and you did nothing wrong. I think she's being a bitch and is trying to ghost you. But when you, as someone who's a serial ghoster, if you ask me if I'm ghosting, I'm going to say no. And that's what she's saying. She's like, no, of course not.
Or I won't respond because that's what a true ghoster does.
True. Just fades away.
I don't know. It made me sad.
Yeah.
It's like weird. Like, I don't know. Like she's just seeing her on social media and like, I'm texting her, but she's not responding. Like, it's have some self-respect.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think the girl's, I mean, she's being a bitch, but like, you're also like going way past your expiration date. Like, why are you reaching out to her still?
Yeah.
Why are you even inviting her to your graduation if she ditched your birthday plans and is constantly next door? And like, people have to value themselves.
Yeah. And take that as who she is now. Don't think about, oh, all the great times we had. I really like her. I really miss her. You miss that relationship.
She's gone.
That's not fucking there. And if that's not there and you see that relationship, do you want that? You don't have this. So yeah, you're right. It's a relationship that's way past its expiration date. And I think like you seem like a very like understanding, nice person who's trying to get it back to where it was before. But unless you have two people who are making a conscious effort, like you're just about to be friends with a girle who's like a total bitch who doesn't give a shit about you.
You got a degree. Fuck her.
Yeah, 100%.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Mute her or just block her.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too much. Yeah.
Mute or block and just key your car. No,
that is interesting what you said though. I feel like some people do have that thing where like if someone's going away, they want them to come back.
Yeah.
It's just like they just can't let it go.
And I've like definitely done that before, especially when like if a friend has treated me badly and I've taken it and I've let it happen and then they start turning around as if I've been the person who's been a bitch, that's like psychological mind fuck. And it's like, and then when someone tells you like you've been doing something and if you've been kind of like letting someone else kind of treat you like shit and like you've been taking it and then they tell you you've been treating them badly, if you don't have like a crazy amount of confidence and like a ton of other friends to like compare and contrast the situation to, if like that's really your like core friend,
then you can get in your own head. And like, I definitely was like, am I being a bitch? Like, am I not? And then I got older and I was like, oh no, like you don't need anybody who doesn't need you. And like, I've definitely like, and even like when like dating, if like I was dating a guy and like I was like, if he started to pull away, even if I wasn't that interested, I would then be like, oh no, now I'm more interested. Yeah. But I'm like, I'm not. You have to like sit back and realize and think like, oh, is this like a aspect of like, I want to fix this because like I truly think that like it's a misunderstanding. I don't think it's a misunderstanding. Like, I think you just want to fix this because like you want the old relationship, and it really hurts to see someone, I don't know, it sucks when a friendship or a relationship ends and like you didn't want it to. Like you didn't ask for this to happen. So you're putting like 200% into it to try and like get it back because you didn't want it to end and you didn't consent to this ending. You didn't ask her to do any of this stuff. Like, it's not your idea, but it's happening and you can't stop it from happening. Like, you just got to get yourself out of the situation. And then you'll realize like a couple years down the road when you have like other friends who will be there for like anything, like it's remarkable. I definitely had my fair share of really terrible, shitty friends. And now I like have friends like Aislyn's in Canada right now. And I was like, when are you coming home? She goes, oh, well, let me know what you want to do for your birthday. And I'll come back either like right around like either like 3 days before your birthday. If we want to do something like after, like I'll come all the time. I was like, oh, wow. Okay, cool. Like, that's just like, you're just going to like fly home and like be here for my birthday. Cool. And it's like, you know, like the friends who will just like be there when you need shit. And you don't have to like, I don't know.
You shouldn't
That's real.
pull teeth for somebody to be your friend.
Exactly.
And it's also not a friendship because then you're not going to feel comfortable asking for support or anything because you're just going to be afraid she's going to like peace out at any moment.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes things just run their course.
Yeah.
Like maybe y'all just outgrown each other. Mm-hmm. Maybe she's scared to say it and like just can't deal with it. I think I've been in that situation before too.
Oh yeah.
It's like I don't want to hang out with someone, but I like think of an excuse at least. I won't just not reply. But it's just like, it is awkward sometimes when you grow apart and it's like, why are we hanging out? Like, are we just remembering what we used to do when we have nothing in common anymore? But it's like, how do you vocalize that?
And it's hard because it's like, are both people on the same page at the same time, or are you not? And then if you're like, if you feel like the relationship's run its course and you still keep like hanging out, are you getting like frustrated? And like, is there animosity? And like, it just becomes this like very awkward thing because rarely are both people on the same page at the same time. On to the next.
This episode is brought to you by Buffalo Trace Distillery. Powerful yet smooth. Contained but never tame. Proudly going their own way, but never going alone. This is the spirit inside Buffalo Trace Bourbon. Made at Buffalo Trace Distillery, the world's most award-winning distillery. Buffalo Trace is always perfectly untamed. Distilled, aged, and bottled by Buffalo Trace Distillery, Franklin County, Kentucky. 90 proof, 45% alcohol by volume. Learn more at buffalotracedistillery.com. Please drink responsibly.
I am 21 years old, and I'm calling about a boy. So I recently, like in the last month, was broken up with. We were together for a year, and he kind of dumped me suddenly. Pretty much for the whole relationship, I was kind of a support for him. I mean, I have my own apartment with a roommate. I'm in school. I have my own job, and I'm financially independent. He still lives at home and works and is kind of doing the community college thing, kind of not. So I kind of just supported him financially. There was a period of time when he lived with me. So, I mean, things were kind of pretty one-sided looking back. From an emotional standpoint as well, I never really felt supported. Leading up to our breakup, he had actually gotten me pregnant. And he broke up with me pretty much at the start of my abortion process. So I went through that alone. And I know that's like all of these reasons are enough to be done with a person. But after a month of being broken up, he reached out again and wanted to get back together. And, you know, has been like catering to me the past week that we've been in contact and really wanting to get back together. And I've just kind of been enjoying having the friend back. But last night I found out that while we were broken up, he had sex with a girl, you know, that has kind of been a problem for us for a while. And I'm just not really sure how to handle it. He'd been lying to me for the whole week, telling me that they hadn't had sex, and his friend just kind of like drunkenly blurted it out. And I don't know. I feel like everything is telling me to be done with this guy, but I love him so much, and he seems so apologetic that I don't know what to do. So any advice would help. I hope this wasn't too long. Bye.
Girl, have Bonnie from Monterey push him down the stairs.
Yes.
Literally, this is a mess.
Yeah.
It's like, is his rent due? Is he like
honestly,
getting close
what does
to
he
you?
need?
Did he
find
that money?
Did he find out the other girl couldn't pay for shit?
Yeah.
Lied about it. Not even coming back clean. Like coming back out the gate just dirty. You need to stop it.
Yeah. And also like a guy who's going to break up with you when you're going through an abortion and then comes back after that's a boy. That is a little fucking boy who's like, oh, okay, so I'm back now. Like, I'm really apologetic. Like, that's like someone, like, if you had like a I don't want to compare it to that, but like if you have something like where like something traumatic happens in your life that they're like, oh, I'm gonna break up, and then once you're doing awesome and like you're like you've moved through that like that period of time, that they come back. Like, he doesn't want to be there with you when he actually has to do something. Like, when you need support and you need like not even financial support, you need like emotional support and just like a partner, he's gonna peace out until he feels like, oh, she's probably ready to like come like let me mooch off of her again. Like, there's certain things I hold grudges, but like there are like I've forgiven people for shitty things that they've done, but like, and I understand what you mean by saying like, oh, he seems like incredibly apologetic.
No,
there are some things but there are some things that like, but that don't apply, that doesn't apply to. He can't be apologetic for that because that's a fucking like heathen, like fucking devil, terrible person going straight to hell, sociopath kind of move. Like,
that's a block.
You don't move past that. You don't move past someone who's like, oh, I'm like, we're pregnant and like we're gonna terminate this abortion, and they're like, I'm gonna break up with you. Like, that's not something that you move past. And like, he's just a shit guy. And there's no way around it. Like, you had a year of it, and you also had all of this clarity. And I think now, like, you felt really abandoned at a time when you really needed him. And
at 20.
Yeah. And like, you can be pissed off and like, you should be really angry. But then when he comes back, like, he's playing to the fact that he had your emotions for a year. And you just need to recognize, like, anyone who's not going to be with you through that, like, also even a guy who, even shitty guys who aren't as shitty as him, but like even shitty guys would stay with a girl through an abortion and break up with her 6 months after.
My friend got an abortion in college, and she went back home with her parents while she was going through it, and her boyfriend like went home with her and stayed with her and took care of her during all of that, and they're married now with other kids. So it's just like,
it's not a thing. Like, that's also isn't the story you tell your grandkids.
Right.
Like, well then this is what happened, and this is how we got together. Like, you know,
anyone with a heart can't I can't believe what I just heard. No. I'm in shock.
Like, this is the kind of thing that people are like, oh, I want to break up with my girlfriend, but I'm going to fucking wait because this is not a time. If someone breaks up with you after an abortion on your birthday, even a week before your birthday, major holiday, funeral, family trauma, anything like that, like, that is someone who does not get a fucking free pass. No. Like, even shitty guys would stick through and continue to be there for
you at all.
No, and he's still lying. Like, he's
lying.
Why are you always lying?
Look, girl, I know she's 21 now, right?
Yeah.
You see, I know what that feels like. Not that, but just that young relationship and like thinking he's apologetic when he comes back, and like, you have to see the bigger picture. As you grow up, you're going to see that this guy is trash. Yeah. And he is not your be-all, end-all right now. And you need to, like, really look at play back what you just said and and think about it. Because that is ridiculous. That's so, I'm like hurting for her.
Yeah.
Because that's just disrespect. And I feel like, where are your friends? Like, they should be stopping all of this from happening. Your parents, I don't know your situation. I'm sorry if it's bad, but like, the people in your life, if they know this went down, there's no way this guy should even be around.
No, it's true. And I think like you need to think about it in the sense that like, take your feelings out of it. And like you said, like tell the story back to you, but to yourself, but tell it in like a way. And I'm not going to say like no one should compare their life to a movie, but let's say it's not a horror movie. Try and compare your life to a romantic comedy. Can you be like, so boy meets girl, started out, she was paying for his entire life, supporting him financially and emotionally, all of that. Then they got pregnant. She got an abortion. He broke up with her during all of that. Then he came back, slept with another girl, all of that stuff. Like, is that a romantic story? And is that a story that you hear people talk about and that they move past? Because there are so many people who talk about like whether it's cheating, that they moved past that and their relationship grew. But that's something that you can talk about. If the things that he did were so terrible that you don't feel like you could tell your family, if you have a relationship, if like friends, that you couldn't see yourself telling your kids that this is the story of how you got together, or if your friend said like, oh, this is where we're at. Like, does this sound like if you had a year of this, that does not a good relationship make? You don't that's not like one industry, like that's not one mistake, that's not one thing that you're able to move past. Like, that's a relationship. You had a bad relationship because he's a bad fucking guy, and that doesn't change. He can say that he's sorry, but he clearly isn't. And like the fact that he didn't even tell you like, oh yeah, I like slept with someone when we were broken up, which by the way, he's allowed to do if you break up. He's allowed to sleep with someone else. But the fact that his friend also said that, to me, that friend is trying to protect you from him.
You lied about it. Why are you lying? You were single.
And it's a girl that was causing problems before. So he was probably sleeping with her 100%. Before. Oh my God.
It's just not worth it. And like, this isn't a like, I can only say like, it isn't a love story. You love him, but this is not a love story. This is not a romantic story. And I've definitely loved shitty guys through shitty things that they've done. But like the older that I get and moving past all of it, like you realize like, oh, I can love you, but I can love somebody else, and I can have I deserve a better love than this. That doesn't mean that this wasn't love. That doesn't mean that relationship like is like, you should have never done it. Like, I'm not saying any of that. Like, you can love somebody despite the fact that like they don't love you how you should be loved back, and that relationship's not going to move forward. Like when you fall in love, it can be so hard because you think like, oh, one true love. Like when I fall in love, like that's how I'm going to know. You can love people that you like have not ended up with. Like I truly think that like age-wise, like I loved my 16-year-old boyfriend, but I loved him as much as I could as for a fucking like 16 to like 17, 18-year-old. And then as I like dated and like moved on and like dated other guys, like I loved someone else as much as I could love somebody when I was like 21. And then now I'm like 25. Like like the love that I have for Mods now like is so much bigger than that love that I had at 16. But that's not saying that wasn't real love or that didn't exist or whatever. But it's also knowing that when you go through something really shitty, just because you love him doesn't mean like, oh, I have to stick through this because this is it. Like, you're gonna fall in love again.
Yeah.
I think you need like girlfriends right now. And I think you just need, I don't know. I don't want to say it sounds like you've been isolated by him, but it does like, if that's an emotionally like one-sided relationship, which I think can also be like a neglectful, abusive relationship. And you need to separate yourself from him to see that, and you need to spend time with your friends. You need to like just spend time with like other women and other like people who just like there's no like ulterior motive there aside just to support you, because I think also like you went through this alone, and I think
like, where are the roommates? She says she has roommates.
Oh yeah.
And he was over there.
Maybe they're not her friends.
Yeah. But I think you need to like, if he was the person that you relied on, I think like you need to open up to some other people. And if you don't have a ton of close friends, like start by like reaching out. Like I think like, especially when you're in your early 20s, like it's really hard to make friends, and people really appreciate when other people reach out. And make some friends and really like let other people in. Like it's so hard. I'm currently learning how to do that in therapy, where it's like, if you only have one person that you open up to and share with, and if it's not beneficial for you, or you don't even have that ability to do that, then you don't do it. But that doesn't mean you can't deal with everything alone. Like you need to kind of talk stuff out with friends. And even if you dealt with the abortion on your own and you didn't confide in people, like confide now. Like you didn't have that then, but like you can still have conversations with people about this and like open up. And heal from that, because it's like you got abandoned in a time when you really needed somebody. And I think now more than ever, know that that's a level of like respect. That's like a bare minimum level of respect that you should have from the people in your life. And this should be the new, like, wow, I'm never gonna like let anyone, friend, family member, relationship, anyone treat me like that ever fucking again. Like this should be like the cut off.
Move forward.
Yeah.
You will look back. Oh my God. I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
If she keeps messing around with this, no,
don't do it.
I can't. I'm going to be consumed with this. I'm worried about her because that is toxic.
It's super toxic. And if you can afford it, therapy. And if you can't.
She's in school. She can go to therapists at school.
Yeah. Talk about that. Yeah. We're telling you to be done. Everyone in your life, I'm sure, is telling you to be done. So you're done. You're welcome. You're already done.
Bye.
Goodbye.
And if he tries to slip his way back in, call me.
Oh, we will show up in my new Jeep. Beep, beep. Run you over, bitch. God. What a fucking dick. So now it's time for Don't Blame Them. And this is a segment where listeners call in with their own advice and experience on previous episodes. So, you know, if someone perchance has hit their ex with a car and they're like, oh, done that, let me tell you how it went. Okay. This is when they would call in.
All right. Okay. So the original call was from an Eminem episode.
Me and Eminem wasn't on the podcast.
Yeah. Season 4, episode 4.
Okay.
The original caller, she had a friend that was very into herself, and the girl thought that everyone was in love with her, and she also thought that she was going to be like a pop singer, but she couldn't sing.
Mm-hmm. She was also in love with a guy who was gay who had a boyfriend, and she was like, no, he's not.
Sounds
we're
like
gonna
a
be together.
damn tragedy.
She's also in love. Well, she thinks that her friend's boyfriend is in love with her too. Mm-hmm. But here's someone calling with some
similar
advice.
Oh.
Hi, Megan. I am calling as a response to the June 2 episode that was just posted with Mel regarding the girl who has the delusional friend. With those types of people that are really, really, really in their own world, I have found that you honestly just have to wait for shit to hit the fan. I have a little bit of a different situation. I have had a friend since 10th grade, and I'm 23 now. He is a really bad compulsive liar. Not in any way that has ever been harmful or malicious. Just like, oh, I'm going to play volleyball at Hawaii State for college, when like he didn't even apply. Like very, very strange lies that don't do him any good, that don't do anybody else any good. Like, ask him where he was 5 minutes ago and he'll say the bathroom when he was driving to the restaurant. Like, very, very strange things. And I feel like this chick is like kind of in the same headspace, which I would love to understand. But it turned out that I stopped being friends with him because just this past year, because he bought a car from my boyfriend and did some shady stuff, and then didn't pay some of the money, and then made this big, big lie about why it was not his fault and why it was my boyfriend's fault, or ex-boyfriend. And it destroyed their friendship, and you know, of course I'm going to take my boyfriend's side, especially because I know that this is a pattern. But this chick already did something to hurt you. Like, she already went to the extent of saying that your boyfriend was in love with her, and for me that would have ended the friendship right now, or right there. But honestly, I think that you should probably just cut ties with this person, because it really didn't seem like you like her at all. And it doesn't seem like she really benefits you. Like, you should be hang out with people that benefit you, I think. Make you a better person, whatever. And she just seems very annoying. But yeah, my advice is to drop her before she hurts you even more. So, Megan, love you. Mel, love you. Thanks for the podcast, ladies.
Aww. Do you know what that girl's life reminded me of, though? Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen.
Oh my gosh.
That girl was a one-time teenage drama queen.
A number one Billboard Hot 100 hit.
Honestly, though, deserved. So fucking deserved. When I was a little kid, I used to, like, in preschool, apparently I, like, lied about shit all the time, which, like, makes sense because, like, I like wanted to be an actor, and also like I probably should have gone to like a child therapist. But I used to like say, I was like, I went to Disneyland. I would just like come up with like elaborate stories, but like I just loved the attention.
Honestly, same, but
you know?
Younger.
But yeah, and like I got older, and then I was like, fuck, I don't want to lie. Like that, you get caught in that shit. That is so odd. You look like such an idiot. Everyone's like, why are you lying? Like, and it's when it's not even anything about like, it's like, why'd you just lie about where you were? Like that's so odd. So fucking odd. But I think the advice rings true.
Mm-hmm. Why? I don't get why. Why do people keep these people in their lives that are not good, that they don't like, that are doing dumb stuff? Like, where do you have the time?
We're serial ghosters. Mm-hmm. Like, if I don't like someone, like, first of all, I'm like not gonna hang out with you. Like, I'm gonna suss you out for a fucking long time before we're actually friends. Like, it's gonna take a lot. And these are people who like, it's easy to be, they're friends with lots of people, and it's like easy to become friends with them. And then it's like, oh well, like, you know, if you keep your circle small, you can't stand shit like this, you know?
You can't.
Because like you're like, I'm not gonna waste, like I've got a small bench. I'm not gonna fucking waste my bench with like Billy, like the lying asshole, like just about everything.
Like, when you have people that treat you right and when you vibe with, like, it's not even, this is a mess.
These are people who had like big pre-prom groups, just like huge groups of friends. And my pre-prom pictures with Sydney, it's literally like we are just talking to each other, laughing the whole time, and everybody else is like doing these like specific poses, and we're like laughing at all of them. Like clearly we were just friends with each other. But yeah, I don't know. I think like, you know, 2020 and 2019 and my 26th birthday for all of you is coming up. So this should be the year, my 26th birthday should be the year that all of you get rid of your shitty fucking friends.
For your birthday.
Yeah, that's
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. The holidays are here, and you know what that means? It's time to get your friends and family the gifts they deserve. Take the stress out of shopping with Amazon's great deals and low prices on a huge range of items from toys to tech and much more. Whoever you're gifting for, Amazon has great prices on everything you need this holiday season. Shop early holiday deals now.
That is my gift to you, and that's
Megan
the gift
return.
I want from all of you guys, is to stop being friends with fucking shitty people. Like, it's just not, it's a waste of time.
Worth it. Like, who even wants to do that? Like, you could spend your time with so much other stuff, just by yourself, with people you like, watching it's not the stress. The things that I'm hearing make absolutely no sense.
And the shit they bring isn't unique. They're like, oh, they're nice. Lots of people are nice. I mean, I might not be one of them all the time, but like, there are nice. If like nice is your like criteria, they're really nice people aren't gonna like, oh, your boyfriend's in love with me. I would just laugh. I'd be like, what?
It's too much. That would have pissed me off. I'm glad I wasn't here that week because she would have got it.
I know.
Because that's a mess. And what do you look like being friends with someone who's talking about they're playing volleyball at Hawaii State?
Yeah, that's
what is
so
the point?
Weird. Like, I'd be like, what are you, like, if you're lying that much, I'm like, are you hiding, like, are you, like, addicted to pills? Like, are you like, hiding something really, really massive that you're like, I need to lie about every other thing in my life?
How you are friends with someone you can't trust? That's crazy.
So weird. What do you talk about? Like, when it's like, hey, what'd you do today? And it's like, oh, I'm not going to listen to what you said because it's all fucking lies. Like, what can you talk about?
I saved a panda from a freeway pileup. Like, what is going on?
You're like, oh, really? Where? And he's like, oh,
man.
Like, that's so weird. He's like, I went to the beach. We're in a landlocked state, bro. Yeah, I flew here. My parents have a private jet. Like, what the fuck?
It's too much.
That's so weird. That's so fucking weird.
That's a series.
Yeah.
That's
someone
like
who's
a
just
Netflix series or something.
Yeah, just a pathological liar.
My best friend, the pathological liar.
And then you find out he's not actually lying, and he just like really is. Like, right, I gotta get my private jet set. He's actually hopping on one, and you're like, oh my god,
he can actually like fly the jet.
Oh my yeah, and he's got all that shit. He's like, yeah, I live in a mansion. You're like, no, you fucking don't. And then you realize he lit all of that shit.
Yeah,
checks out.
Like he's like been like in the guest house because he doesn't want it. Yeah.
Oh my god, we should write it.
Yeah,
you should write it. I'll be
listen to this all day.
Good god. Well, that's it for our episode. I'm so sad. You have to come back.
That's it?
I know. We'll come back. You're fucking great. We'll keep having you on.
Thanks.
Over and over and over again. Well, promote your shit. Tell me where they can find you.
YouTube.com/Kingsley, Instagram.com, and Twitter.com/Kingsley with 3 Ys.
Hell fucking yeah. If you guys want to call in for an upcoming episode, leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. And international listeners, you can call us and you can record a voice memo on your phone and email it to us at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, Don't Blonde Meme Pod, Patreon. Check us out. We have so much bonus exclusive content. It's great. We've got bonus episodes, all that shit you can only listen to there.
Yeah, if you guys love like the Don't Blame Them, we do episodes that are just Don't Blame Them. So check it out.
It's a really good time. Yeah. And check it out on YouTube. Check us out on, if you're watching it, check us out on iTunes. All of that stuff. Cross promo. Check it. And we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Don't Blame Me is a production by me. Executive produced by Melissa DeMonts. Camera operator Amanda Lechner. And music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso. Part of the HerPod Network.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like, it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out Real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a founder of the Go Kid Go Network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. Look for The Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.